All right, I want you to picture the deepest, most remote, isolated part of our entire planet. We're talking a plunge of roughly 36,000 feet down. To put that into perspective for you, you could drop Mount Everest right into it, and the very tip of the mountain would still be over a mile underwater. It is a world of perpetual, freezing blackness and bone-crushing pressure. The warming rays of the sun? Yeah, they have literally never reached down there. So welcome to this explainer, where we are going to explore the deeply haunting secrets of the Mariana Trench.
But here is the puzzle that keeps scientists up at night, right? If this is supposed to be a totally barren, lifeless abyss where absolutely nothing can survive, why do we repeatedly record sounds echoing up from the deep? Sounds that honestly to this day still can't be completely explained. Could it really be possible that unseen creatures, species humanity has never even laid eyes on, are hiding right now in that pitch black water?
Section 1. Creatures alive in the dark. Okay, let's dive right into this. Because the absolute most baffling reality of the Mariana Trench is that it is not empty. Not at all. Despite the total darkness and a physical pressure that would instantly crush a normal military submarine like a tin can, life doesn't just exist down there. It is actually thriving. We're talking about organisms like the Mariana snailfish that somehow survive without their cells just completely collapsing. And they've developed these absolutely alien-like adaptations. I mean, think of fish with entirely transparent bodies, just swimming around like ghosts. Creatures whose eyes have become practically useless because, well, what good are eyes when there is literally zero light? But maybe the most fascinating thing is the bioluminescence. These animals actually generate their own bright blue or green light. They use these glowing colors almost like neon signs in the dark abyss, to lure in unsuspecting prey or flash a quick warning to evade enemies. Honestly, looking at them, it truly feels like you're observing life from a totally different planet.
Moving on to Section 2, the mystery of giant creatures. So those adaptations are wild for the little guys, right? But what happens when we scale things up? For years, sailors crossing the oceans and researchers plunging into the depths have brought back these legends. They report sensing massive, unnatural movements disturbing the water far beneath them. Movements that just feel way too powerful to belong to anything we currently know about. We've got countless unconfirmed reports and rumors pointing to things like giant squids or even just massive unidentified shadows passing through the dim light of deep-sea cameras. Shadows that look larger than any known marine animal. And hey, when you remember that we have mapped barely a tiny, tiny fraction of the ocean floor, it kind of makes those viral legends feel a lot more plausible, doesn't it? We really can't completely rule out the possibility that undiscovered giant species are swimming right beneath us. Which naturally leads us to the biggest, most suspenseful question floating around the internet. You've probably seen the viral videos. I'm sure you've heard the rumors. Could the ultimate apex predator, the Megalodon, a monstrous shark from millions of years ago, still be alive, just hiding out down in the Mariana Trench? Okay, let's look at the actual facts here. While social media absolutely loves to claim this monster is lurking in the dark, the fossil record paints a completely different, undeniable scientific reality. The crucial point here is that scientists have found zero reliable proof to support any of these online rumors. Actually, comprehensive fossil evidence proves without a doubt that the Megalodon went extinct millions of years ago. It is definitively 100% gone. Yet, this idea is so captivating that it just keeps a tight grip on human imagination, and it remains one of our most popular and honestly most fun oceanic mysteries. All right, Section 3, the mysterious sound known as the bloop. Let's see how this builds into an entirely different kind of deep-sea puzzle, a mystery not of shadows, but of sound. So the year is 1997. Deep underwater microphones set up by scientists pick up something genuinely astonishing. It was this tremendously powerful low-frequency sound echoing across the ocean's depths. And it was so incredibly loud that it was picked up by sensors stretching all the way across the Pacific Ocean, literally thousands of miles apart. Scientists simply named this highly unusual recording the bloop. At first, the sheer volume of this sound led people to a pretty terrifying conclusion. It just had to be an unknown giant sea monster, right? I mean, the only biological thing big enough to make a noise like that would have to be colossal. However, after some extensive research, scientists finally provided an explanation that honestly is just as awe-inspiring. They discovered that the sound was actually generated by giant icebergs violently cracking apart and sliding into the ocean. The fact that shifting ice can sound exactly like a colossal sea monster from thousands of miles away is just a completely fascinating reality. But, even with that solid scientific conclusion, the bloop left the whole world wondering what other massive unseen events are happening in the deep that we simply don't understand yet. Next up, Section 4, the shocking discovery of pollution. Now, not all discoveries in the trench are the stuff of myths and cool legends. Recently, when scientists pushed their submersibles to the very bottom of this deep abyss, they found something completely unexpected. And honestly, it is a sobering, harsh reality check for all of us. They found plastic. Specifically, they found microplastics resting right there in the deepest, most isolated place on Earth. This is a profound warning for humanity. It tells us that our pollution is so pervasive, so deeply embedded in the global ecosystem, that even a place miles and miles beneath the ocean surface, a place practically untouched by human presence, could not escape our trash. Let's shift gears to Section 5, science's biggest laboratory. Because, hey, it's not all grim news. In fact, from a scientific perspective, the Mariana Trench is arguably the absolute most exciting place on Earth. It is, quite literally, science's biggest and most extreme laboratory. Every single time an expedition returns from the trench, they are bringing back invaluable new data. They are discovering entirely new species, new forms of bacteria, and novel biological structures that somehow manage to survive under extreme bone-crushing pressure. And why this matters to you and me is that studying these resilient organisms is paving the way for massive, massive breakthroughs. The unique biology found down there could lead to the development of revolutionary new medicines. It could inspire incredibly advanced materials and technologies. It might even provide critical clues to how life originated on Earth in the first place. How amazing is that? Which brings us to our final part, Section 6, Unsolved Mysteries. Yet, for all the incredible scientific progress we make, the Mariana Trench simply refuses to give up all its secrets. It's like, as we shine a small spotlight into the void, the shadows only seem to grow longer, hiding mysteries that border on the unbelievable. Beyond the biology and the geology, there are far more bizarre claims rapidly circulating about this abyss. Some people claim that highly unusual, unknown structures have actually been glimpsed on the trench floor. Others suggest that the sheer, unfathomable depth could be hiding the remnants of ancient lost civilizations. And yes, there are even those who point to strange anomalies down there as evidence of alien activities, believing it to be the perfect, unreachable hiding spot on our planet. So we are left with the ultimate question. Is there any truth at all to these wild claims? Could unknown structures or lost histories really be buried under miles of water? Or is this simply the human imagination running wild in the dark? Well, we aren't going to leave you hanging forever. In part 3 of this explainer, we will plunge right back into the darkness to investigate the science, the myths, and the absolute truth behind these remaining theories. Until then, keep questioning what really lies in the deep.